My name's Neil with SFJ4x4.com, Simpson Family Jeeps Incorporated. We're gonna be peeling back layers of our internal operations for you, our viewers at home. And so for our DIYers, this might be an insight into how you can approach your vehicle and its general health and how to set yourself up for success in maintaining it. But for the vast majority of you, it's kind of an insight into what uniquely makes us and our approach to looking at your Jeep so special. A crawl-over diagnostic is a comprehensive inspection from front to back, bumper to bumper, from top to bottom, about the general health and condition of your vehicle. One of the things that's a little tongue-in-cheek that we say about this inspection, and so whether it's pre-post inspection, whether it's a death wobble diagnostic, or whether it's just a general health because you've owned the Jeep for 10 years and it hasn't required a lot of maintenance and now it seems like it does, we kind of say we're gonna tell you everything you don't want to know about your Jeep. Most Jeep owners actually appreciate this. It is an hour-long physical inspection of the vehicle and then a half-an-hour consultation with you, the customer, to really try to educate and document and share with you the things that we found in the process. Our objective is to operate with a heightened level of transparency that respects you and the level at which you are approaching the Jeep life. So that original diagnostic, we used to talk about a pre or post-purchase inspection, and this would benefit people who, were headed off to the dealership and they saw a modified vehicle and the dealership doesn't know a whole lot about it. Maybe it was a trade-in or something that just showed up on their lot from an auction, and they would like to have it inspected by a third party who's kind of neutral to the process. If you're local or regional to us and you say, hey, you know what, I really like this vehicle, I want to take it for a second level of inspection, can I take it to this Jeep shop over here? If that dealership says, yeah, sure, go ahead and do it, then that's probably a surefire sign that it's appropriate or above board transaction. If the dealership or the selling party gets a little weirded out by it, then maybe that's time for you to step away. If you do have the opportunity to come to us for that pre-purchase inspection, oftentimes we can save you a couple dollars in the negotiation process because there may be some underlying factors affecting the Jeep that you or the seller might not be aware of. You can then say, hey, it's gonna cost me X, Y, and Z dollars to repair this. I'd either like that amount off of the purchase price, or I would like for you to have it fixed, either at your shop or at this one. For us, we always try to say we meet the Jeep community, you, where you are at in your process. Now, a post-purchase inspection might be the only thing that makes sense for you. Maybe you bought the Jeep out of state, or you just relocated, or, quite frankly, you just didn't know about us until seeing this video or a friend recommending the service to you, and now you'd like to know more about this Jeep that has a few quirks while you're driving it. And we also had the death wobble diagnostic. Now, in the earliest years, we called this the Dr. Death Wobble inspection. And quite frankly, we came out with that probably 10, 15 years ago. The name kind of got utilized elsewhere. We just changed it to crawl over. And obviously, we're playing on the terms of, crawl mode or for low. And we ourselves are taking time to kind of meticulously go over the vehicle. It's not a full guaranteed fix for death wobble, but it is a overview, maybe a closer than a bird's eye view of the health and condition of your Jeep. And since we only work on Jeeps, there's a lot of things that stand out to us in the process, and it's a little different than your general service experience. And quite frankly, we typically call that Jim Bob's Garage. Now, if you are a Jim or a Bob, or God forbid you're a Jim Bob and you own a garage, I don't exactly mean to offend you, but Jim Bob's Garage typically puts their blinders on and focuses on the immediate cause or actually symptom that you're experiencing when the Jeep starts to shake or the brakes go out or whatever might happen with your daily driven vehicle. For us, we look at the Jeep in a far more comprehensive or symbiotic experience, meaning we're looking at how aspects of the suspension play with the tire wear, play with the body roll, play with how the top fits. There's a number of aspects like that that we're looking to kind of easily conceptualize and package up on some paper and share with you in a succinct time frame. The thing is, and we never really want to discredit your general service mechanic, but they might just not know what they're looking at, and their approach based on volume, based on daily driver, based on having to put those blinders on every day for the general automotive community, they might not be as well versed in looking at the Jeep and how it works as a whole assembly. Many of our customers have the intention to do wonderful adventurous trips, and so that might be another reason you would opt for a crawlover diagnostic. Before you go coast to coast in your Jeep or you have a big event coming up, you might want to come in and get that inspection done so that you know your Jeep is in peak condition for what we can predict. Our objective for offering this inspection and kind of refining it over the years has been to set you up for success. And that is the primary motivation. I've absolutely had from the beginning the mindset that the DIY aspect of the Jeep and off-road community is kind of a founding principle of the Jeep life. For me, for this business, the idea was that the crawl-over inspection and what it became is meant to set you up for success on a DIY level or on an individual, normal owner-operator level. And so whether you want us to fix it or whether you want to take it home and fix it, we don't really have a vested interest. And that's kind of a unique thing that sets us apart from Jim Bob's Garage. Jim Bob typically doesn't want for you to make those repairs. Quite frankly, during that half-an-hour consultation, we're typically going, hey, these are the affordable things. These are the first-level tips and tricks that you can take home and you can do yourself if you have the tools or the space or the volition to do that. Then go ahead and try it. We actually give you 2 pages of documentation that accompanies this service so that you can draw upon it at a future date and you can go through and get stuff fixed at your convenience. With that said, we're just kind of better set up to address a number of things. It's just kind of A, it's a little more convenient. B, it can actually be more affordable because we do it so frequently. We have the parts in stock, we have the tooling and the resources available to move expeditiously through the services. So sometimes it actually becomes kind of a cost benefit for you to figure out and go, yeah, these things I'm willing to take on myself. These things I'm gonna leave up to the experts to take care of. What you choose to package into that is entirely up to you. We can make recommendations on bundled labor and parts that make sense to be done all at once, or when we ship the Jeep off for alignment, post a service, what will that third-party shop say about our work and about your Jeep? And so there might be some additional parts that need to be addressed in that moment, but we can reasonably have all those things kind of prepped and ready and able to share with you so that we can streamline your process to set you up for success on immediate safety issues, immediate concerns that you want addressed. What's that next tier of priorities? Is it 6 weeks, 6 months from now? And what are some things that we can see looking into our crystal ball of all the Jeeps that we touch and all of the things that we do that are going to present problematic at a year and a half, maybe 2 years, depending on the seasons, depending on the wear of the vehicle. What do you need to address now, and how can you save your money for future investments? When I started this, I wanted to find the business that would best benefit me as a Jeep owner, and I really struggled to find that in the market as it was 20 plus years ago. I was an average DIYer, and realistically, I liked having the experts do what they were experts at, but I really wanted to tinker and play with these big, awesome Lego sets that we call Jeeps. I understand that that's still a core part of your ownership. And so that's what it's valuable to say, here, these are the things that need to be addressed now for safety and, addressing your specific concerns. But here's some stuff that you can do, and here's some things that you need to save up for in the future. Or maybe you're thinking about that lift kit. Well, we should really address your ball joints and your steering, because you're going to need an alignment when you put that lift kit on, and bigger tires, things are going to wear out faster. There's a number of related components that we can address along the way for you that helps your ownership flat out be better. The value of a crawl over inspection is catching issues while they are small, or specifically addressing concerns that each and every customer has. One person might be specifically concerned about loose steering, another might be a slight electrical gremlin, yet another could possibly be full-blown death wobble. The goal was to create kind of an encompassing inspection service that made your dollar go further. And again, I say it makes your dollar go further because, quite frankly, we're not wasting time changing a whole bunch of parts, or you're not wasting time changing a whole bunch of parts. We're just creating a comprehensive plan of attack. Too often, customers finally come to us after going to Jim Bob's garage and maybe yet another general service garage where they've changed multiple parts and the customer's concerns have yet to be addressed. And so coming in first to have the inspection done actually can save you a bunch of money to focus how you then repair and outfit your vehicle. Yes, I want a light bar, but if my battery is about to die or my alternator is getting weak, if I'm about to put out a couple $1,000s in suspension work, maybe I need to hold off on that light bar until those components get addressed first. Too often we hear people or see people on the social forums who are making kind of misplaced statements about their frustrations about the Jeep. And as a voyeur looking in on that conversation, I think, yeah, well, I see that you're concerned about, the fact that you're having death wobble, but I can see that your tires are chopped or bald. Why is the shop replacing your steering stabilizer or adding a dual steering stabilizer for that fact when your tires are completely bald and presenting as if you're out of alignment? It's simple things like that that can easily be alleviated, and the information that you get is kind of professional and direct versus kind of the hive mind of the internet, throwing darts against the wall. That's not to say that the social forums aren't great for problem solving and collective knowledge, but sometimes it just pays to focus your investment and use it wisely, because quite frankly, we all want those cool upgrades, but the cool upgrades aren't cool if you just have a lawn ornament of a Jeep. The benefit of the crawlover for you bringing your Jeep to us as experts is that you could potentially easily misdiagnose your vehicle and what's happening to it. We recently had a customer working with some other very good Jeep owners and even on a two-post lift, trying to determine a squawky, kind of bindy feeling. And, it was presenting in such a way that was primarily in four-wheel drive, but you could definitely kind of feel it herky-jerk as you were turning in a parking lot. And there was this belief that despite the fact that the hubs felt good to them and the ball joints felt good to them, their approach was most likely going to be U-joints and hub assemblies. They brought it into us because they didn't just want to throw parts at it or to throw money at the Jeep that they weren't 100% confident about. And they brought it into us. Within a very short period of time, it was pretty apparent to me that it was actually a joint in the front drive shaft. The important piece is it presented differently, and so it was confusing to them, but they pumped the brakes, they brought it to us, they saved themselves a bunch of money, and were able to appropriately address their concerns. So there is value in, even if you are a qualified DIYer, in kind of elevating your diagnostic process so that, you can save a bunch of money. So what are we looking for in a crawlover inspection? We have this 2-page document I don't even mind, sharing it with you because it's taken me years of developing this and refining this with our team here. We have places here for the test drive notes. Again, you have a person test driving the vehicle who only drives Jeeps every single day, and that's kind of a unique thing. Additionally, there's scanning for codes using kind of the latest and greatest computer and software available for communicating with virtually all types of Jeeps. And then we go into fluids and tire pressures and tire wear, our filters, our lights and electrical. We do a shakedown test, and then we get into the nitty-gritty front end suspension, exhaust, underside wear and tear, all of those components that make your Jeep uniquely a Jeep and super functional. And we've arrived at these components because over the 15 plus full-time professional years of doing this, we've refined this process over and over and over again so that we can dial in our diagnostic for you, saving both of us time and you a bunch of money in the process. Certainly, I remember a number of, the Sears, the Monroes, the higher level or mid-level Jim Bob garage type businesses offering multi-point inspection services. And I kind of remember where it got to be this kind of catch-all, almost felt a little bit of an upsell situation where once they did that multi-point inspection, the service writer, the front end manager would come in and hard sell you and say like these really dramatic things that you have to get this fixed right here and now. The fun piece about us is I actually don't want to fix your stuff right here and now. In fact, the way that our schedule typically works, we're typically booked solidly for 2 to 5 weeks at any given time. So I'm going to send this home with you, and within 24 to 48 hours, we're going to send you an itemized estimate of the first level repairs that we agree upon during the consultation. We're actually not looking to hold your vehicle hostage and make those repairs right here and now. In fact, you can take this and go to another shop and get an estimate from them on making the repairs that you think will benefit you. For us, it literally is a piece of education. There's over 100 specific points that's just the actual boxes for us to check and items for us to look at. This is a highly personal, individualized inspection where objectively, because we're getting paid for this specific inspection, our job is to kind of put ourselves into it fully for the time that we're doing this diagnostic. For those companies that I've already mentioned, that was kind of an upsell or a way that they wanted to misdirect and kind of, unfortunately say pigeonhole you in as a customer to make repairs. Are the repairs probably valid? Yeah, they might be. I'm not saying that they're not or that they're doing anything devious or underhanded, but how severe are they actually and how quickly do they need to be addressed is kind of relative to the conversation for you and for the shop that is quoting you the service needed. Our goal is to do a thorough inspection of your vehicle, to educate you in the process, to give you adequate documentation, and then ultimately to address your concerns as they are relevant to you, your budget, and your utilization of the vehicle. I'm really proud of this particular service that we offer. We keep it to a pretty affordable price point. It's like $159 and change and tax. So it comes out to just under $170. And if that $170 benefits you as a DIYer, not throwing ball joints and hubs at a Jeep that doesn't need them, then that's $170 out the door that was well spent. Additionally, when you're purchasing the vehicle, you can find out that there's a number of things that need to be addressed on it relatively soon after you take ownership of it. Maybe you can help negotiate that price down. It really is intended to benefit the Jeep community as a whole and your ownership of the vehicle and not detract from anything. Our goal is to treat you exactly how we would like to be treated in the moment and be able to focus in and use our funds wisely so that we can do those cool upgrades while ensuring that our Jeep is safe and reliable and kind of in peak performance so that we can go coast to coast, wheeling and driving and adventuring if we wanted to. We also do offer a level of remote consultation for that pre and post service inspection, and a lot of you have taken us up on that. And it's a pretty cool inspection that we do, and we can do it for the half an hour or the hourly rate. And it's a series of phone calls and emails and sometimes FaceTime or live video chatting when you are actually with the vehicle and in a manner that you can inspect it with us. I like to think that we've helped a lot of people fulfill their dream of Jeep ownership, or have avoided costly mistakes of purchasing a lemon or somebody else's headache. And so this service as a whole is actually really important to me, and one that I think benefits everyone in the community. I hope that you find this beneficial, and whether you take this information and you utilize it at home in your own ownership experience, or whether you take the time to give us a call or log on to our website and book an appointment with us, I'm happy either way. If you've liked this video, make sure you actually like the video, that you subscribe, ring the bell so you can get notified on other great Jeep and automotive content, because we've got a really cool video coming out on the 5 Jeep parts under $200 that you didn't know you needed. They're kind of the weird, a little quirky, a little unique, and definitely could benefit you. Also, we have a text-only number, and we'd love to help you DIY, 440-855-2100. Text us, let us know what you're working on, and if there's some parts that we might be able to provide you in the process, we're happy to do that for you.